My dear friends, myself is Dr. V.N. Bhagat. I am also known by the name NB Vidya. So, I have been teaching to I.A.S. aspirants since 25 years. My major topic that I cover is geography, environment, ecology and environment, and disaster management. You must be aware, must be having some question about my background. So you must know first thing that I am a postgraduate in earth science, geology. I also qualified the NET examination, CSIR NET, and did my PhD in geology itself. And in last 25 years of my teaching, I have guided more than 1,000 students, and more than 100 of them have secured a good position in UPSC examination, and they are serving India in different positions. Today I am here to give you a brief idea about the major world crisis today, the major events world is facing, and in that all events, what is the role of geography, and as a student of geography, how you have to look the things in such a way that you could answer the major questions of UPSC. So first thing that I will go through, as a geography student, you must think why geography and geographical knowledge is essential for better administration, or in other way you can think why UPSC have selected geographical understanding as a major ingredient of the syllabus. So what is the importance of geography that you have to understand? Importance of geography in our day to day life, and better administration. So my dear friend, think about this question, why geography is most important aspect in administration in our life, why UPSC have selected it as an important aspect of the syllabus. In prelims and mains, at both level of examination, geography constitute a major section. So all the aspect of the lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere, you have to understand. So first think about why geography is important as a branch of study, and different concept of geography, why it is essential. So think about one by one. First of all, think about all those things, those five or six, those essential aspects or elements without which human life cannot survive. Think about it. What are those elements without which our life as a human being over this planet cannot survive? Think about. So, first thing, if you categorize it, then without food we cannot survive. First. Second, we need a shelter for living. We need clothes. We need energy power sources, energy resources. We also need transport sector, transportation for our movement. And understanding of natural hazards, because natural hazards are influencing our life on a large scale. Recently, you might have seen the Joshi Mutt in Uttarakhand is subsiding, and millions of population were compelled to move from their original place of origin. So, Josimat crisis you can think about. Likewise, the crisis of Turkey, recent earthquake in Turkey, you can think about. More than 20,000 population, more than 20,000 people have died because of this earthquake. So, natural hazards like earthquake, volcano, flood, drought, and so many others directly or indirectly affect our life. So we have to understand the origin and the remedial measures or the precaution that we have to take before our living in any area of the earth. So these are the six major portion where we have to use. Where from color we have to choose, sir? Where from color? Sir, कहाँ से color choose करना था? यहाँ से, हाँ, पेन का? पेन पे. Okay. So one by one we will go through. Okay. So first of all we will go through the food. Think about the food. Food we derive all those food items that we intake for sustenance of our human body, fat, carbohydrate, vitamins, minerals, all these are the micronutrient that is required for the sustenance of our life, becomes available through variety of food grains. So we get the food from agricultural operation, and agricultural operation is being done over soil. This soil is derived from rock, and this rock is the output of magma. So magma is lying inside the earth, that is the asthenosphere. You might have heard about the earth having multiple layers like this. So there is lithosphere, asthenosphere, mesosphere, and siderosphere. These are the four layers inside our earth. And this asthenosphere is having the fluid rock, that is magma. And this magma, when come over the surface of the earth through volcanism, we get this magma, and after cooling and solidification of this magma, we get variety of igneous rock. So these variety of igneous rock like granite, basalt, peridotite, monzonite, multiple igneous rocks are there. So all these igneous rock over the surface of the earth get weathered and eroded to generate variety of soil. So variety of rock generate variety of soil, and different kind of soil is suitable for different crop production. So this understanding will give you the idea which kind of soil is available in your area and what is the suitability of this soil for which crop it is best suited. So all these understanding if you have, then you can better exploit the natural resources of soil for agricultural operation. So all these information becomes available through geography. And that's why geography, understanding of the basics of geography is very, very important for food production, because India is agricultural country. More than 70% population is dependent upon agriculture. That's why they have to be aware of all those determinants of nature that influences the food production. So first factor you understood, that is food production at large scale is directly dependent upon the geographical factors, and as a student of geography or as an I.A.S aspirant, you have to be aware of this. So one more thing that I would like to tell you, that ignorance means if you don't know the basics, then you must be ignorant of the basic concepts. And if you are ignorant about any basic concept, then naturally ignorance generates the fear factor. And that fear factor influences your confidence level and generate the confusion inside you, which largely influences your success in the examination. That's why you need to understand all the basics in a proper way and maintain a balance between the knowledge. To retain all these basics are essential. So first point I have discussed about the food. Now come to the point of shelter. Now, in case of shelter, you think about all those factors which influences our home condition, stability of home. For shelter creation, you need concrete, cement, and bricks. Concrete, cement, and bricks, and the understanding of the earth surface stability, because this entire earth has been divided into different seismic zones. So seismic zone, those areas which is seismically more vulnerable to the seismic vibration, there you cannot decide about the creation of your shelter. Accordingly, if you don't have any option, then you have to think about the those factors which can minimize the instability of your shelter. So घर बनाने के लिए आपको इन छोटी छोटी चीज़ों की समझ होनी ज़रूरी है, अदरवाइज घर बनाएंगे लाखों रुपए खर्च करेंगे और वो अनस्टेबल हो जाएगा. So understanding of seismic zone is important. अभी तुर्की के अर्थक्वेक को गौर से आप देखें, अनातोलियन प्लेट्यू जिसके ऊपर तुर्की बसा हुआ है, that Anatolian plateau is seismically inactive or unstable zone because that is the extension of Armenian knot from running from the Himalayan belt. It is the Pamir knot and Armenian knot. That Armenian knot is having major fault along which rock blocks are moving always. So in last decade you might have seen there have been multiple seismic vibration in Turkey, and that was the reason because the people could not understand this factor. At grassroots level, this understanding of seismic factors must be properly given at primary level to people so that people could understand those areas of the earth which is unstable because of the movement of the earth. So this shelter creation is dependent upon the cement, concrete, bricks, and the understanding of the stability of the earth. So these concrete are generated from the rock, rock mountain you can say. So rock mountains are broken inside a crusher and then you get the concrete. Then cement is generated from the limestone and gypsum. So these both the product, limestone and gypsum, is the geographical product that is lying inside the earth. So understanding of these raw material also need the geographical understanding. The bricks are also the product of the sediment that is generated from the sedimentary rock like sandstone, shell, limestone. And stability factor is dependent upon the tectonic understanding of the earth. Planet earth is divided into major 7 plates. So all these major plates are also having a minor plates in and around. So there have been the movement of these plates because of the convection current that is going on inside the asthenosphere. So all those concepts you have to be aware of and keep all these, you need to keep all these concepts and the facts in your mind before taking any decision making at the district level as a district magistrate. That's why geography is most essential. Now we come to the clothes aspect. You understood the food, you understood the shelter. Now we are coming to the cloth part. Clothes are majorly, you can think about the cotton production. Cotton production is mainly done over the black soil, and that black soil is derived from basalt. The weathering of basalt on a large scale generate black soil in millions of years, and this black soil is one of the igneous rock that is derived by the cooling of magma that is lying inside the asthenosphere. So again, the same thing, if you have to understand the cotton production, suitability of the soil for the cotton production, then you have to understand the nature of the black soil, and the source of it is basalt rock. So you have to understand the basalt, and then before that you have to understand the nature of the igneous rock. So all these understanding are the part of geography. That's why geography is essential as a branch of study. Next is the energy source. Energy source. Think about the energy. Without energy, we cannot survive because you need power at different stages for water production, for water transmission, for light in the homes, and different other heating and instrumental activity. So, majorly commercial energy we get from thermal power, hydel power, and nuclear power. These are the three major sources of energy in our life. These thermal power constitute more than 70% in case of India. It is around 21% and it is almost in a developing stage, but at world scale it is one of the major source. So this thermal power, one by one we will go through. So this thermal power is derived from coal and petroleum and natural gas. So these are the three major source of thermal power production, but out of these three, coal constitute more than 70%. Now you have to understand how coal is linked with the geography. So production of coal, if you think about, then millions of plants decay and degenerate in anaerobic condition inside the earth, decay and degeneration of the millions of plants in anaerobic condition. They decay and degenerate to produce peat. Then that peat is converted into lignite, then bituminous, and then anthracite. This is the sequence of production of coal. So peat is the organic remains having maximum moisture content. But with the passage of time, the calorific value increases and moisture content decreases, and this is the lowermost quality. Then further better one is the lignite, then best one is the bituminous, anthracite is the topmost. It is widely costliest throughout the globe because it is widely used for metal extraction and the coke formation also. So this coal in India, you might be knowing about, these are the Damodar Valley, Godavari Valley, Mahanadi Valley. So these are the northeastern portion, you can say, Chota Nagpur Plateau Belt. and the Chhattisgarh belt. So these are the area where most of the coal is confined, and these coal are the source of our thermal power production. So the understanding of coal formation, its location or reserve, and coal refinery, coal production of thermal power from coal, you have to understand the energy sector. That's why all these aspects have been included in our syllabus, because as an administrator, if you don't know all these basic inputs, then you won't be in a position to properly decide about the resources and their allocation and policy formulation. Another aspect is hydel power. The mechanical energy inherent in the moving stream is converted into electricity through the catalytic converter at suitable gradient level. So different river in different part of India is having different potential of hydropower generation because of the difference in their gradient level. So these understanding also become available through geography. Now come to the nuclear power. The uranium, thorium as a raw material is located in different parts of India, and they are widely used in a atomic reactor for the production of energy, nuclear energy, in a controlled through a controlled reaction. So these are the three major source of energy, and understanding of these three sources give you the proper idea of energy sector where to use your knowledge for the betterment of power sector for your district. Now another one is the transport. Inside transport, roadway and railway is one of the most important source of communication of majority of Indian mass. But their construction demand the understanding of the topography and the slope aspect. These two factors directly or indirectly influences the roadway and railway construction and their maintenance, and these two factors are the part of geographical knowledge. So for transport also you need the geographical understanding. Now the last one is natural hazard. The natural hazards like earthquake, volcano, flood, drought, nuclear accidents. Although nuclear accident is man-made because it is a man-made structure, but it happened accidentally. So better remove it. So natural hazards could be directly linked to the natural factors. So the earthquake, think about. In India, we have got the major four seismic zones. Zone 5, Zone 4, Zone 3, and Zone 2. Like this. On the basis of probability of shaking of the ground. So this zone 5 is located in the Himalayan belt, and this zone of Kutch, because this is the belt where there is collision between Eurasian plate and Indian plate. So this is the zone of collision that is also known as ITSZ, Indus Sangpo suture zone, along which both the plate collide and subduction is going on like this. So all the area around this collision zone is having the maximum vulnerability to the seismic vibration. That's why we have put these areas into the zone 5. And the areas surrounding it, which is having slightly less probability, have been placed in zone 4. Now the last one, that is zone 2, is there in the peninsular plateau, which is having the least probability because they are the part of the primitive craton or silt belt. They are the part of primitive craton or silt belt, which is a stable portion of the earth and which is having least probability of vibration. That's why we have put it inside the zone 2. But in between the zone 4 and zone 2, there is a zone where there is probability more than zone 2 and less than zone 4. So we have put it inside the zone 3. So this is the different zonation of India that we have to understand, and the creation of any shelter in any belt will require the proper consideration of this seismic vibration, and accordingly you have to follow the remedial measures or the precautions. Now think about the volcano. Volcano is, although it is not a major factor in mainland India, but there is one active volcano in Andaman and Nicobar. But on a large scale in world, Mediterranean Sea region and Japan belt, it is having the probability of volcanic eruption. Indonesia and Java, Sumatra, these areas are having the multiple volcanic belt, and that's why it is more important in terms of world geography in comparison to the Indian condition. Now flood. India is having multiple rivers, Himalayan rivers and non-Himalayan means peninsular rivers. Different condition of flood exist because seasonal rivers are different and non-seasonal rivers are different. So their potential of flood generation is different, and that you have to understand for geographical interpretation and policy formulation at district level. So these understanding are most important. Drought is mostly observed in Rajasthan, arid and semi-arid belt, and the rain shadow region of Deccan region, Deccan Plateau and Peninsular Plateau you can say. So these are the drought prone area. So consideration of the factors of drought is essential for an administrator. That's why it has also been put inside our syllabus. So now summarize all these things in a proper way. What was the question and what was the answer and how you have to explain it. The question was, why geography as a branch of study is essential for any administrator. This is the question. Why geography as a branch of study is essential for any administrator for better policy formulation and implementation. This is the question. Do you think now you are in a position to explain it? In another way, you can also ask the same question, why geography have been a major portion of the prelims and mains examination? Why UPSC have decided the geographical concept and geographical topics as the major part of our syllabus? So this is the question that I have explained. So you must be having the basics, what we have to explain in this answer. Now we will move to the another part, and that is another question. Majority of student observe the holistic syllabus. This is the entire syllabus you can think about. Like having geography, history, polity, economy, current events, ethics. Likewise, multiple sections are there in the syllabus, And all these sections are having more than 100 questions that you have to manage. So holistically, if you observe the syllabus, then it creates a fear factor in the human mind. So you must be having a question, a general question, how this fear factor could be properly managed. Why this fear is being generated? Usually, those students who have started their preparation, they suffer from these fear factors. The vastness of the syllabus, that is one of the most important factor that influences their ability to manage the syllabus. जैसे ही हम किसी भी अंधेरे टनल को देखते हैं तो हमारे अंदर क्या होता है? सबसे पहला चीज हमारे पास आता है फियर. क्या है इस टनल के अंदर? क्योंकि अंधेरा है. Once light becomes on, you observe the thing what is there, then this fear get wiped out. Likewise, in syllabus also, one upon the other, if you understand their basics, how the different topics and their concept have been formulated, and how they influence our day-to-day life, and how a better administrator need to understand all these things, you won't be in a position to manage it properly. Now you can correlate the syllabus, in my view, if you correlate the entire syllabus of UPSC with a food plate. This is the plate of food in which multiple items are there. And it is before you, it has been placed before you. So multiple items are there to eat. जैसे मार्केट में हम जाते हैं तो मार्केट में जाते ही किसी भी स्वीट शॉप पे देखते हैं हज़ारों आइटम पड़े हुए हैं तो हमारे मुंह में नेचुरल सैलिवा सेक्रेशन होती है और हमारी इच्छा होती है कि सारी चीज़ों को हम अपने अंदर कंज्यूम करने की कोशिश करें. So just imagine that condition. Multiple food items are before you and now you have to consume it. Consumption means you have to eat it and digest it. You have to digest and drive all the micronutrients available in this food so that your body and mind properly function. How will you manage it? What will you do it? How will you start? Will you jump over the plate or will you start in a proper manner, proper way? So first think about, this is the food plate and this is the human body in which there are multiple organ system. Multiple organ is there. Digestive system is there, respiratory system is there, circulatory system is there. So we are not a machine or we are not any mechanical instrument. We are a living body in which multiple items are there and we are aggregate of 5 elements, you can say. Just like these 5 fingers, this is representation of air or fire. So this thumb is the representation of fire, then this one is for air, this one is for space, and the second last one is for earth, and last one is for water. So these are the 5 elements our body is made up of. If we are not having the balance of these 5 elements, we won't be in a position to digest all these aspects of food. Likewise, the entire universe is also made up of these 5 elements. So entire universe is have been created by nature through the balance of these 5 elements. So first of all, we have to understand the 5 elements and all those system that is working inside our body. So there are multiple hormones that is released by different body endocrine glands, and that hormones we have to be aware of that if we are taking sugar items, then you must be having the idea of insulin. Just like that, there must be understanding of adrenaline, endorphin. Likewise, multiple hormones are there. So all these understanding must be there as an I.A.S. aspirant to understand and consume these foods. Likewise, here also, different sections of our syllabus require different approach of study. And what is the meaning of a study? The holistic study demand first the basics, you go through, then you create a synopsis, and you then start writing the answer writing. And through answer writing, you have to understand the presentation skill, how you present the things, then only you will get the proper marking for the examination. So this fear psychosis of the vastness of syllabus could be properly managed through proper guidance, and there you need the proper guide which is having the experience of going through the different stages of the examination. Now, in geography, I am coming to another question. First question, I gave you the idea about the importance of geography. Second, I gave you the idea about the fear psychosis, fear factor of vastness of syllabus. Now I am coming to the holistic understanding of geography. So this is the universe in which there are millions of galaxies. This is the existential reality. We cannot observe through our eyes, but it is existing. So these are the millions of galaxies that constitute this universe. And one of them is our Milky Way galaxy. And in this Milky Way galaxy, there are millions of stars like this. And one of them is our sun, along with planets, asteroids, comet, and satellites. All these constitute the solar family. And we are living over one of the planet, that is Earth. So this understanding of the evolution of Earth is essential to understand the socio-economic and physical aspect. Physical aspects. Any major problem that is affecting the humanity at large is having their base in geography or topography or climate or any geographical dimension you can think about. So, first of all, we will go through those existential reality which we must be aware of to solve our current problems. What are those? So you have to understand the evolution of universe, how universe have been created. Then we have to understand the evolution of solar system. Then we will go through the evolution of Earth and the life support system. You can also use the term biosphere. How they have evolved in millions of years, which is the basis of humanity over the planet. This is the base of human survival. Without it, human cannot survive. So one by one, we will go through. First, we will go through the understanding of the universe. Then we will come to the solar system. And then finally, we will come to the earth. And we will try to understand how the life support system is evolving in millions of years like this. You can create the picture like this: atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and in between there is biosphere. So this is the multiple spheres of life. All the sphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere contribute their basics for the sustenance of this life support system. Now, one by one, we will move through. First one, we will go through the universe. So there have been multiple viewpoints about the universe, but the most widely recognized have been the Big Bang theory. It was given by Abbé Georges Lemaitre. Abbé Georges Lemaitre, which was a Belgian astronomer. Now, you might have heard about this Big Bang theory, which explains the evolution of universe. Think about what this theory constitutes, what it says exactly. You must be having some idea. Think about, recall it. What Big Bang theory says. This theory says that initially there were quark and anti-quark. Quark and anti-quark. This is the scientific terminology. For general term, widely used generally is matter and antimatter. This is the common term. So this matter and antimatter, or you can also say quark and anti-quark, were existing 15 billion years ago, 16 billion years ago. So when both these particles merged together, they created a primitive particle through thermonuclear reaction. Further, same reaction, thermonuclear reaction, led to the expansion of this primitive particle and creation of a large space. Like this, having the same matter. So this primitive particle got expanded through certain mysterious reaction that we don't know still. Till date, we don't know all those reaction, what was the nature of the reaction. So this large space was created, which we call universe. Now, after the creation of this large space, according to this theory, there were contraction. Contraction started, which led to heat accumulation inside. So gradual increase in heat inside the body resulted into implosion. This term is quite different from the term explosion, because in explosion, different constituents move out of the body. If bomb explodes, different part of the bomb move out of the body, but here everything remained inside and it simply got fragmented like this. And that's why the new term was coined, that was implosion. So this implosion led to the creation of millions of galaxies. So these are the millions of galaxies, and one of them is our Milky Way galaxy. This theory of Lemaitre did not move beyond this. They did not explain what was the nature of this thermonuclear reaction. This theory also does not give you the idea about the primitive particle. But the modern science, we have as a modern student, modern scientific community, have started searching about all these things, and we started a hadron collider experiment. Hadron collider experiment 10 years back with the assistance of more than 110 countries. So millions of dollars we have invested, And this experimentation is going inside the earth in Switzerland. And in 10 to 15 years time we have given over it. So the first achievement or first breakthrough we have got, that we have understood the nature of this primitive particle through that multiple experimentation under the inside the earth. A huge lab has been created, and there we are experimenting through with the help of multiple scientists. So we have understood the first breakthrough we have got, that is we have understood this nature of primitive particle, and we have gave the term God's particle for it. We have coined a term, that is God's particle, for this primitive particle. Now experimentation is further going on to understand what was the nature of the reaction through which this primitive particle got expanded to create such a large space. So things are going on, and in coming decade there is probability that we will understand this nature of reaction. So you understood the Big Bang theory. Now we will move to the evolution of solar system. For understanding of the solar system, we think about the nebular hypothesis of Kant and Laplace. According to this theory, there were hot gaseous rotating body around 5 billion years ago. So hot gaseous rotating body. It was rotating around its axis. So it was rotating. This is the point center. Rotating axis, hot gaseous rotating body, and the term for it was coined, that is nebula. So with the passage of time, if the body is hot, then naturally it will cool down. So cooling of the body led to contraction and radius reduction. So now, because of the radius reduction, the law of conservation of angular momentum started operating. Law of conservation of angular momentum. According to this law, if any rotating body is reducing in radius, then its speed has to increase to keep the angular momentum conserved. So because of the radius reduction, the speed of rotation increased, and because of the increase of speed of rotation, there were increase in the centrifugal force. Must be aware of this force. Any rotating body, just think about a cycle moving in a circle. There are two forces operating over the cycle, that is centrifugal force outside and centripetal force inside towards the center. So this is a divisionary force. Because of the increase in centrifugal force, this entire mass of nebula got segmented in two parts. So initial central portion was composed by heavier elements. Heavier elements got concentrated at the center, and the lighter elements got concentrated at the periphery. And in coming decade, long duration of time, these heavier elements created our sun, and these objects aggregated further to create planets, satellites, asteroids, and comets. So this is the theory of Kant and Laplace. So this theory gives you the idea of how solar system evolved in long duration of time. That's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.